I'm going to tell you how the Jalen Ramsey trade could affect the Chicago Bears moving forward, and it starts right now. Now, if you are rocking with the channel, hit that like button. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you stay in tune with us, man. So a blockbuster trade goes down today. All of a sudden, we see Jalen Ramsey news from Ian Rappaport. We all of a sudden see Jonnu Smith news from Ian Rappaport. We see 2027 seventh round picks going one way for Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 2027 fifth round pick. Now, first off, trade is insane. I can't believe you gave up Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey. But hey, to each their own. I mean, no, that's insane. There is no to each their own on that. I can't believe we saw this trade go down in the NFL today. And of course, whenever this type of news breaks or whenever stuff like this happens, I always go, well, how could this affect the Chicago Bears? Well, a little bit later, according to many people in the NFL media, and of course, according to Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero dropped this as well. There was significant interest all of a sudden in the Miami Dolphins to go out there and try and trade for a tight end. Now, before you click off the video, because I know everybody out there is going to go, we're not trading Cole Kmet. Hear me out. I'm not telling you I want to see Cole Kmet traded. But where this becomes interesting is some of the names that are being connected to the Miami Dolphins as potential trade partners they may look at. You do have the best of the bunch. And what makes that interesting is, would the Dolphins be willing to overpay for Cole Kmet? And when an overpay comes into play, now you have to open your ears back up. And to me, I think when you look at some of the names that are on the market right now, of course, Tyler Higbee is one that does pop out to you. I mean, solid player, didn't really have a great season last year, didn't do very much for the Rams last season. The age is 32. We know what the career has been, but we're not seeing that. I mean, you're talking about guys like Michael Mayer from Vegas possibly getting into that mix because of the fact that they do have Brock Bowers over there. And I think because of that, you do have to look at a couple of names that could be the possibility. So for me, the two top candidates, if you are the Miami Dolphins to look at, with proven track records, are Mark Andrews from the Baltimore Ravens, who I just don't think Baltimore really is looking to part from. I understand that, you know, there's some different issues with the potential of money, but you know what kind of weapon he is for Lamar Jackson. I understand 29 years old as well, still getting a little bit older there, but still caught 55 passes last season. They got 673 yards and 11 touchdowns. I would think Baltimore is not looking to move on from Mark Andrews just yet. I understand that they want to save some money there, but there's certain players you're just not ready to part from. And I think when you take a look at all of the other names that are out there, Cole Kmet is the one that does stand out as the big one that you could go after. And I mean, listen, 47 receptions last season, 474 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. We know what the season was. I'm not sitting here telling you that he had this dominant season, but I think we also know it got to this weird point last year where you weren't really looking Cole Kmet's way. All of a sudden, like early on in the season, Cole Kmet was catching 90% of Caleb Williams' passes, and all of a sudden, we just really stopped going to Cole Kmet. And I think you have to have the conversation on the pairing that is now him and Colston Loveland in the building. We know Ben Johnson loves to run some 12 personnel. But if the expectation is, and if you're drafting somebody top 10, it probably is the expectation for Colston Loveland to eventually become the number one tight end in this room. Cole Kmet is a very expensive second tight end for this team. Now, the big thing for me with all of this is, again, I would like to see Cole Kmet play in his Ben Johnson system. I would rather see him go out there and be an asset for this team, especially being somebody from Chicago, especially being somebody who has grown up in this rivalry, has been a part of this team through the ups and downs. I would rather see him beyond what many of us believe is the upward trajectory and a part of this team. But I do think if they were to come, if Miami were to come to you talking about high draft capital, and I'm not talking first round picks, but if they're maybe saying, listen, we got a late second round pick for you, you have to consider a move like this. If they're saying, you know, we could package a couple of picks into this where maybe you get a late, or we give you a third round pick and a fourth round pick, right? I'm talking about the overpay situation. I'm talking about the situation where you come out of this feeling so much better about what you got back from Cole Kmet, feeling like there's no way that we could turn down this deal, feeling like, my goodness, this is a situation now where we've got the benefit and we've still got a young tight end in this room in Colston Loveland that we're going to develop. I think, to me, that is a conversation that is worth happening. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. I think that if you feel like Cole Kmet should stay just because you want him to be a fan favorite or just because he's one of your favorite players, to me, that's not looking at this the right way. Again, I think Cole Kmet can do so much for the Chicago Bears team. I truly do. And let me know how you guys feel about it in the comments below. But I also think that there is a situation where eventually, I'm not saying you're there now, but eventually you want to start clearing some of this money off the books. And what you don't want to do is what we've seen your counterpart do over there with the Chicago Bulls, and you avoid getting draft capital for somebody who you plan on moving on from anyway. Again, I would love to ease Colston Loveland into this. We haven't seen a single snap of it. I would like it for it to be an easy transition, but you heard what Ben Johnson said. This ain't supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be an easy transition. It's not supposed to be something that you just, it's a cakewalk and all of a sudden, you know, because Cole Kmet's there, Colston Loveland just magically figures it out. I've told you guys from the start, I expect Colston Loveland to be the yards leader at that tight end position for this team. And right now, if he is going to be that, moving on from Cole Kmet would just add to those yards, possibly add to some of the touchdowns that he could get. And to me, you know the direction that you want to go eventually. I'm not saying you're there yet. Again, I would love to see Cole Kmet in this Chicago Bears offense. But I think this is a conversation that is very valid. I think this is a conversation that is very much worth having. And I think if you're the Chicago Bears right now, adding draft capital to this team is not going to hurt you. In a couple of different ways, this helps you, if nothing else, right? Number one, you can add more pieces to the team via draft capital, right? You go out there in the draft, add a third round pick, add a fourth round pick, and hopefully you're able to build your team up a little bit more. But I think on top of all of that, now you're in a position where hopefully this thing does hit the ground running a little bit quicker. And maybe when you get to the halfway point of the season, you want to add something to this team as far as an edge rusher. You want to add something to this team as far as a linebacker. That draft capital helps with all of that as well. And acquiring those assets simply allows you to make bigger moves in the future. This saves you a little bit of money on the books. And to me, these are the type of things, these are the type of moves that good GMs do make eventually. And we saw the Patriots do this all the time. Remember, under Bill Belichick, they would move on from these pieces where you just go, there's no way you just traded this player away. There's no way you just moved on from this guy at this point in his career. And they would come out of it with draft picks that they would either use to flip and bring somebody better in, or they would go out and find a guy who literally could make up that production who was cheaper. That is the game of football, unfortunately. So again, it would have to be an overpay situation for me. I'm not sitting here telling you I'm trading Cole Kmet for a third or fourth round pick by themselves. If you say a third and fourth round pick, I'm there. I'm not saying I trade Cole Kmet for late draft capital. I'm not saying I'm trading Cole Kmet for a contract that is going to end up, being off the books in a couple of years anyway. Cole Kmet is a talented enough player that I really do want to see him a part of this team. But I do think that you have to have the conversation about, if you're going to do anything that down the line you're saying we're separating ourselves from Cole Kmet, which seems like it may be the case with Colston Loveland here. A $50 million tight end is a expensive number two, and I'm expecting at some point you want Colston Loveland to be the number one. That situation kind of feels like you're going to move on from Cole Kmet at some point if they are willing to overpay, and only if they are willing to overpay, that would be a situation where I would be fine with the Chicago Bears going on and moving on from Cole Kmet and trying to improve this team possibly further, either via the draft or via trading some of those picks to add pieces to this team. But again, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. I know people are going to react to this in the comments and lose their minds. And oh my God, here we go with a Cole Kmet conversation again. It's never going to happen. What are they going to go into the season without a tight end? There's a conversation that can be had there if you're the Bears with the Miami Dolphins. The big question is that what Ryan Poles wants to do. Like I said, man, we'll see what ends up playing out here, but appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bad down. One love. Peace.